I'm back with you. Talked to a nice young man, Paul from Canada. Going to get his life together there. Pretty good on the raw. Eagle's Heart. Thanks for the comment about the guy. I just read it real quick about the guy that made these nasty comments about I lied about my biochemistry degree. I tell you what, sometimes I do get unsettled after the years, because you're called every name in the book through the years. I've had medical doctors call me everything from quack to charlatan to all kinds of things, We keep healing them up. The joke's on them, It's funny about that. But I think I avoided your question. I'm not sure. You had a lot of iron higher than allowable limit, sulfuric acid, hard lesson learned. Well, you know what? I've had a lot of those hard lessons learned. Luckily, I was smart because I realized the fallacy of this biochemistry because everybody's different in what they believe, depending on what school and all this stuff. And a lot of things are still in the theory category. So I really kind of gave all that kind of thinking up a little bit, because you're always going to look through things through a little chemistry and a little physics. That's just the nature of the beast. So, but anyway, yeah, you definitely want to detoxify. In your case, where you've had so much of this, I'd definitely pop up on the high greens, cilantro, parsley. I'd really get into the fruits of grapes. They had a lot of buffering agents to them too. And get my lymph moving, because your blood's going to dump into your lymph, and they're just going to hold all those metals and going to burn you right there. So yeah, you guys want to move your lymph, and my God, and just detox your body out. I know there's some people with some heavy duty toxicity that, they really feel it when they're leaving them. So that's why you can buffer them with some green drinks, keep improving on the fruit and stuff. And I think the herbs have a lot of good buffering agents. When you watch people that do detoxify without the herbs, man, they just seem to be really, they don't have near the easy way to go. The herbs are, I just can't say enough good things about them. And I do appreciate your comments there. there was another comment where medical doctors were talking about double-blind studies and things, and it's like, you could just read how lost they were. I mean, when you stick up someone with MS that wasn't walking and now they're walking, could you show me how you did that? That's what I think. Could you show me how you did that? I'd like to know. Because that's what's key. The key is, what can you do on your clients? That's why I don't want you guys to sweat this idea about having all these stupid degrees and things, because then you have people like this who try to tear you down even though you worked hard for them, Schools go in and out, let me tell you. Naturopathic schools in particular, But it doesn't mean they turn out good people. Or good students, It's all about the student. I like self-taught people a lot. They know more. They're more rounded. I like to say that I'm balanced between going to school and self-taught. I've done two things. I've learned a little in school. I've learned mostly through you guys, through the years and all the people, and just the desire to get people well. The driving force behind learning and growing is a desire to see someone well. And you'll work that and work them to see what works and what doesn't work, Kind of guinea pigs, kind of a way. Yeah, sovereign citizen. I'll be with you on that soon. It's just that I've got so many of these health questions, Citron, but yeah, you wanting to create a land where there is no corporate greed or no, it's constitutional. We don't have a constitutional government. They created a corporation, and so they're using this concept of U.S. citizens as kind of the members, if you will. So it's all screwed up, Someday we'll sit down and we'll do a video on that. But warning, could get graphic. I might come down off of my nowness. Hard not to sometimes, The creation at war with itself, the ever expanding, growing. I studied the Illuminati my whole adult life, 19 years. Good work, Daniel. Yeah, you Skip, you got good stuff behind you, bro. Good stuff. And it does suck you in. It does you said this well. Really said well, you know. Contaminates, especially the darker stuff. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I rode with you on this. I tell you, I got so angry that it really discentered me because I really got angry when I realized that federal judges were corrupt. That was really the turning point of how corrupt is when our judicial system falls. And we do not have any rule of law in our land anymore. It's whatever a judge wants it to be, really. It's who holds the power in the courtroom. It's not even funny. There's some good, honest judges out there. Don't kid me. I like Fox's Judge Napanatello. I think that judge should be president. I don't know why Judge Napanatello isn't running for president. He is one smart judge. He's good. He's constitutional. He's for the rights of the people. He's one smacking good judge. You should have to qualify under him to become a federal judge. Yeah, it took a while. It took me too. Thanks for the comment, Daniel. I mean, it really. Double raw star here. You're talking about, oh, this was a good question. This was, does raw bovine colostrum clog the lymph system like raw milk, cheese, butter, etc.? Or does raw bovine colostrum have thousands of studies done on it reporting benefits to the immune system? It increases neurotransmitters, helps with depression, kills intestinal parasites, contains all essential sugars, fatty acids, and amino acids, increases lean body mass, and reduces body fat. Is 3 times as effective against swine flu than the vaccine itself. Sounds like a miracle cure to me. Well, I've had several cases where, of course, we get tons of tumors here. I remember this one lady, she was an Amish lady, huge tumor on the side of her chest wall. And she had taken shark cartilage for a while, which was the in thing. But what shark cartilage ended up doing was making the tumor grow to her bone. Well, she had been down to Contreras Clinic for a few times, and with the Laetrile to try to, I sent her there once to try to do some Laetrile treatments to break this off. Because we were having a hard time getting this tumor to come out. We used the black salve a little bit. She had such a large hole, and we were trying to pull it out. And she had been on colostrum, and the tumor growed. And I said, no, don't do the colostrum. It'll make your tumors grow. So she wouldn't, we had it closed probably a third in about 3 or 4 months. This is a big deal. And a lot of acid just chewing down on tissue, of course. So she ended up leaving me, and she went to a nutritionist up the way in St. Pete. The nutritionist gave her colostrum. And she called me and said, my tumor's getting really big now. And she told me the colostrum story. And I said, I told you not to do that. And so she didn't believe me. Now she believes me about colostrum. Colostrum is only a short-term fix for kids. You only get it a short period of time. I disagree with all of that. We're adults, by the way. For kids, I think it's a great immune enhancer. It's a great setup there in certain ways. But after age 2, chemistry changes in the human body. Enzymes change. As you know, lactase seems to disappear except for a few Brits. So my thoughts aren't a good one on colostrum either. I mean, you can take it if you want, but as you see, it's the next miracle cure. It always is when you're selling products. But I find that you've got to make your cells healthy. There's no way around that. There's not one antidote or one herb that'll do all this. And for an adult, I've never seen it on children in terms of lymph, but in adults, how would you get raw colostrum? It would have to be raw, and it wouldn't be a cow's colostrum. You wouldn't want to do a cow's colostrum as a Homo sapien. You would want to do Homo sapien colostrum. So the idea of getting colostrum in some type of processed form, thinking it's going to do all these things, you see what I'm saying? A lot of times in the raw form, some lab work might show something, but I've only seen it compromise the lymph system. Now, I have lost about 10 kilos. Again, 50% of this was lean tissue and 50% fat. I am now slim. It feels like I have lost muscle and I don't feel toned. Do you have any suggestions, Helen? Helen, yeah, I mean, that's part of detox. Unfortunately, you can take a bite. I've talked about this before. A bodybuilder can come in here. Now, I used to pump iron all the time. As a youth, I used to try to build up my big chest and big arms, and I worked out, and the Wielder people and stuff. And Jack LaLanne was really hot when I was a teenager. But I soon gave it up, you know, and then things kind of got a little flabby. But when you start to detoxify, those tissue, and I just had a girl come into the counter out here in the pharmacy, and she started on raw, and she's popped a fingernail or two. But she said, what's growing in is so much stronger and smoother than what I had. Because that's what happens. You're going to lose hair, nails. You could, especially if you jump from a standard American diet right into this most powerful, energetic, nutritional diet on the planet. You're like going from hell to heaven. What a shock. And your body, it starts going, okay, I'll get rid of all these weak things, weak cells, so I can rebuild new cells, and that's what happens. You will see a certain amount of tear down. It's standard issue. Now, that really is, I mean, you have to look at two things to get some idea of how much you could break down, and that is malabsorption and are you digesting your foods properly, pancreatic liver. So if you're not digesting your foods properly, and especially if you're not absorbing your foods properly, you could get thinner than you like. And it's just malabsorption. It's not anything more than that. You're not absorbing your nutrition, and you only had fat on you and what you thought was a little muscle. So you might see yourself go down, but you're going to come back. You're fixing your body. Your body's repairing itself. Your body's doing all this for you. You don't have to worry about a thing. That's why I say, just get yourself focused, keep it simple, turn on the car, eat your fruits and veggies, especially your fruits, berries, and melons, take a few herbs, that's turning on the car, and then just sit and enjoy the now. And your car will drive you down the road and take care of itself. Is that cool? I didn't even have to go to school for that. How about that? So, hang in there, Helen. Doing a good job. How do you clean the emotions out? Good question, Daniel. Good man. Oh, boy, I tell you what, this is, it's going to, your emotions are always going to come out in this level of detox. I've even seen it with me. You see it with a lot of people. They just want to just sit down and cry. Well, good. Sit down and have a big cry. Just get it all out, you know. Sometimes the images come around from the past and stuff. Just let it all go. Give everything love. Don't hold on to nothing. You don't want any thoughts. You don't want to play in the causal storage room. You don't want all those things. You don't want the mind and its levels bothering you, because it interferes with your joy and your ability to enjoy the moment and the ecstasy of the now, where there is no time. And so, yeah, let all that clean out. You can work on your adrenals a little more aggressively. It'll clean out faster. I think really stop for a minute and lose the desire state a minute. Just develop a state of enjoyment of the moment and don't desire. And when you desire, then your emotions have to come in and push the desire, push the thought. Emotions are a pusher of thoughts. And so you just kind of get away from that whole thinking, emotionalism, desire bed, and know that you have everything you need. You have yourself, and no one can hurt you. No one can touch that part of yourselves. Sticks and stones